Happy Sunday morning to everybody. Going live here. It's 10:35 on the East Coast. Sunday, June 25th. All right. So, what are we going to talk about this morning? First thing we're going to talk about, well, first off, we're talking about Carry Optics Nationals Day 3, the finale. Cardinal Shooting Center in Marengo, Ohio. This is it. This is for all the marbles. This is what they've been. This is the whole reason they came to Ohio, those guys on the Super Squad trying to win a national championship. All right, so that's what we're talking about. That's the subject of today's video slash special podcast episode. So let's talk weather. First thing I want to talk about is weather. There are already people out on the course right now shooting. Those are the AM shooters, the competitors. The super squads are PM. So all three of them are PM. So that's what we're going to pick up. Because whatever happens now, in a way, doesn't really matter. So we're going to start at noon, even though first round down range should be about 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll pick it up at noon so we can get a trend of what we're looking at weather-wise. So we're looking at a total temperature variation of between 82 and 84 degrees air surface temperature. Now, if you're in the sun, it's going to feel a little warmer. If you're in the shade, it's going to feel a little bit cooler, literally like 1 or 2 degrees cooler max. Same within the sun. So that's what I have here. So starting at noon, it's supposed to be 82. And really, I guess the worst feeling of the day because it's going to be mostly cloudy, and with the humidity, the humidature in the sun can feel like 87 degrees. There is a 49% chance of rain at noon. And if you notice, it goes down at 1, it's at 44% chance of rain, and between 2 and 5 p.m., it's roughly 34 to 43%. So not a huge chance of rain. It's cloudy to mostly cloudy to partly cloudy. So clouds are rolling through. But it looks like, for the most part, the weather is not going to play a huge factor. That doesn't mean the surface of the range isn't going to play a factor, because it did rain quite a bit on Friday. Didn't seem to do much yesterday, kind of got to dry out a little bit. But I did notice a lot of people sliding here and there still. So that could still play a part today. It'll be interesting. I don't know what the weather has been this morning there. I don't know if they got any rain to wet everything again, but hopefully it holds off. But looking at this, it looks like really good conditions for shooting. Humidity is not too crazy. Temperatures staying within check. You've got some cloud cover, so the temperatures aren't going to be nuts. Imagine if 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, the clouds broke free, the sun came out, humidity goes up, and the temperatures rise. That could be not so fun. All right, so let's recap where we are with the men's standings. So you have Christian and Nils, literally 0.8 of a point difference going into this afternoon. So that's a dead heat. They are obviously the favored to win. They have a slim lead over Max Michel at 16 points. But then there's another gap there between Max and Jacob. Jacob is 23 points behind Max, so that effectively puts him roughly 40 points behind Christian and Nils. Man, that's very hard to make up 40 points on those two guys. It's hard enough to make 16 points up on Max, much less 40 points. John Vlieger's 11 points behind Jacob. Garen Singleton is literally right on his heels, about 3.5 points behind. Lane Grease is 10 points behind Garen. Jay Beal is not even 1 point. It's like 0.6 of a point behind Lane. Jeremy Story is right there. Scott Brown rounds out the top 10. Now, Scott is not on the super squad, but I believe he's shooting the same schedule. So let me just confirm real quick on the practice score app. And yes, so he is shooting the same stages that the super squads are. So his score is the equivalent to what everybody else is doing. Dazi is sitting in 12th. I don't believe he is definitely not on the same schedule, so he's shooting a different area altogether. But it goes on down. So those are your top 10, and it looks like pretty much it's going to be Jacob. So you have Christian, Nils, and Max fighting it out for number one, and Jacob trying to climb into or onto the podium. With John being 11 points behind him and Garen only 15 points, not even like 14 and a half points behind him, they're still within reach as well of at least getting to fourth. So that's where we stand. So let's talk about the ladies real quick. This is a two-lady race. This is a race between Morgan and Justine, just like it was last year. And last year came down to a miss by Morgan on the last stage, which opened up the door, and Justine walked right through it and won the national championship. There's a 14-point difference going into today. There are a lot of points today, and we'll get there in just a minute. There are a crap ton of points available today. Alicia Russell has set herself up nicely to be on the podium. She is 47 points ahead of Ashley Robertson, who's in fourth. So that's going to be a big gap for Ashley, formerly Ruark, now Robertson, to bridge that gap and overtake Alicia for a spot on the podium. And then not far behind Ashley is Rachel Harper, but there is a 29-point gap there. So again, not an easy gap to overcome, but not impossible either. And then you have here's the crazy thing. You have four people within 15 points of each other. You have Rachel Harper, Jessica Jonathan, Linda Turnbull, and Kay Lane. So they're all looking to be in that number 5 position. So they're going to be dueling it out to see who gets at least top 5. So really the races here are 1 and 2. It looks like 3 and 4 are pretty much locked up, but again, nothing's guaranteed. That's what you got to shoot the game. And then Rachel, Jessica, Linda, and Kay all fighting for number 5. So that's where the ladies stand. All right, so this is what we have. Here's a breakdown of the stages remaining and how many points are still available. So we have stages 14 through 21. So they're shooting 8 stages today. This is the most stages they've had to shoot in a day, and it's the final day. Kind of like it. And we have a 12-round stage followed by a 12-round stage. Now, this order is for if you go from 14 to 21. That is Super Squad 1, which is Max and Nils and Christian. That's that group right there. The ladies Super Squad, I believe, might be starting on stage 15. Then I think, don't quote me here, but I think it's the Shoot Sig Squad is stage 16, and the Super Squad B starts on stage 17. But you can see stage 16 is it's a big stage, 26 rounds. Stage 19, 20, and 21. So the last 3 stages of the day with the Super Squad, with Nils and Christian and Max, they are going to be those last 3 large field course stages. And I've put out to the side, you can see right there, 4 poppers and a bobber, 4 poppers and a bobber, 4 poppers. All paper, one's a Virginia count, all IPSC targets, 1 popper and a swinger, and 13 steel, and 3 moving targets total. So a lot of steel. You've got some opportunity here for makeup shots. There are no shoots. There's hardcover. So there's plenty of opportunity for people to make mistakes and also to shoot their game and gain some ground. Remember now, JJ is out for the running, but he's still shooting the match. I mean, he could throw a widget into all of this if he decides to throw caution to the wind and just bang. So it'll be interesting to see what strategy JJ uses and see how he affects the overall standings of the match. All right, so here is, let me pause this real quick here. Let me go ahead and silence something real quick here. And there we go. So here's stage 14. This is Drew Maruski. So he's standing. There's not a lot of movement in the stage, okay? You can see the bobber right here. Here's your bobber, which he engaged from back over here. So you've got a head box target here. So there are opportunities for mics. You've got a no shoot here with the bobber. So if you rush things can happen that won't go well. So that is stage 14. Quick, short. If you remember, it is only a 12-round stage. All right, so here's stage 15. Drew Maruski again. This is another quick 12-round stage. Nothing but hardcover on this one, so shouldn't be too difficult. Pretty simple for the super squads here. Male, female, doesn't matter. This is a good one. Good, quick stage. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, now it doesn't want to forward for me. All right, give me just a second here. I don't know why it doesn't want to forward. But we'll make it go forward, whether it wants to or not. All right, so here's stage 16. Obviously, he shot this on Friday when it was a swamp. But it's all lateral movement, targets left to right or right to left, however they decide to shoot it. Plenty of steel targetry here. This is one of the ones with 4 poppers. You got to love the dramatic effect of the rounds impacting the water on the stage. And so nothing too crazy, but, are they going to, this is one where JJ could really throw a widget in here because he can move a little bit more aggressively, shoot more aggressively, end up winning the stage, and change the points for the rest of the shooters in the squads. All right, now I don't know why he doesn't want to do this. It's being a pain. All right, so here is stage 17. So this is a 16-round stage. It's only 4 targets, but it's 4 per. You're going to fire 4 at one target, 4 at another target, reload, and then strong hand only 4, strong hand only 4. So no movement. This is a stand and shoot. So stage 17 will be another one that's pretty simple. And let's do something. And they're all wide open. Maybe this one right here. It's hard to tell underneath the plastic. They look, this one, and this one all look open. The one on the far right, possibly could be diagonal hardcover. Can't tell. Hard to tell underneath the plastic, but that's what we have. All right, another quick one here for stage 18. Step in, you're loaded, surrender position, engage half the targets, reload, engage the other half of the targets. But you do have some no shoot here. So there is an opportunity for penalties. You've got some hard cover here. So the other side's going to be very similar. So there is opportunity here for people to make mistakes and change the outcome of the match. I don't think it's going to, yeah, it's not. All right. Moving on to the next one. Stage 19 is a big stage. This one's Keanu Sai. So you start with your hands touching the frame, get some decent long range targets, all paper, get some no shoot, but that's a transition. Let me stop that for a second. Let's go back. All right. So you engage these last two targets, these stacked targets here, and then he's got a transition all the way. So about 90 degrees. It's a 90-degree transition to this target back here, hidden behind this wood, and there's hardcover with it. So it's a partial at, I don't know, I'm going to guess at least 25 yards, maybe 30, 35. I don't know. I'm not really sure how far that is, but that's a good distance he's having to do that. He engages those a little bit on the, so he runs up to the right side. You can see this is a big field course. So an opportunity here for those who are very good at blending positions. And I mean, to me, this is a strength of your top three right here. So it'll be interesting to see if they play it conservatively or go for it. You do have a no shoot here. You got some hard cover, some partial targets. So it'll be interesting. Hey, looky there. All right, stage 20. A lot of running on this one. I like this one. So you got three different shooting positions. Here's Drew. Table start, gun sitting on the table. So you engage from the middle. And I think everybody's probably going to do this one right here. Run all the way to the back, engage the other targets, and then reload as you run all the way forward and more targets. You've got Steel and IPSC. And from what I've seen, they're all open targets with poppers. So you've got plenty of opportunity here to do well and not do well. But you can see there's a Steel over here. I can't tell if that still looks like it's still standing, Drew. I don't think that's what you wanted. But that's stage 20. And why doesn't it want to? All right. And last but not least, stage 21. This is an up. You start forward. You've got the bobber right there in the middle. See it? There's bobbing there. Now he's going to wait till the end to engage it. A lot of open targets. I think you only have two partials, and the rest are all open cardboard targets, IPSC. So, and then he moves over and engages the bobber. So it'll be interesting to see the strategy, because there was a point back here. Let me go back here for a minute. Like where he's moving backwards. Does Christian or Nils or JJ or Max or somebody, do they actually engage the bobber from here as they're moving back, so that when they get back over here, oh, what in the world just happened? Well, that was weird. Let's do this. This is where I was trying to get to. So that, oh my goodness. Technical difficulties. I'll just let it play. So what I'm getting at is he's activated the bobber. There it is. He's moving backwards. Do they engage the bobber here, or are they going to wait till the very end? Because it almost looked like it added another position at the end. I'm not sure though. I could be wrong. I'm just watching it from a distance on the internet. So he moves over. There's the bob. No, he's got to move over that way anyway. So maybe that's just where they engage it, period. So that's what we're looking at for today. Let me go back real quick. But this is what I wanted to get back to. 845 total points is what is available today with 169 minimum rounds. So that's going to be the big thing right there. All of those points. There are a lot of points on the table. You can either be aggressive and try to collect them all, or you can play it conservative and do what you need to do. Either way, I want to say good luck to everybody today. So coming down to the end, I wish everybody luck. I hope everybody does well, and I look forward to watching the scores on the competitor practice score competitor app and seeing how everybody does. So we'll see everybody at the awards banquet.